Corners, Part 3, the Display Models Library Building. In Part 2 of this series, we examined the steps in the design and construction of the bank building for the display model. We will now examine the steps in the design and construction of the library building for the display model. In the designer's original sketch of Four Corners, the public library building, the brick-colored building seen at the left in this view, was conceived as a traditional public building with brick facing, tall windows, and a steep gabled roof. This conception was based upon an actual community library located in upstate New York. The red brick design was further implemented in another conceptual sketch, and then incorporated into working drawings with a small-scale planning model of the library. A model of the library and the tiny planning scale was then constructed. A major design decision was then made with respect to the architectural style of the library. The red brick design with tall windows was rejected because it was architecturally too similar to the design of the bank building already erected on Main Street. The designer observed that some older community library buildings in the towns of upstate New York had been converted from 19th century residential structures with white wood siding and sheet metal roofs. The designer decided to create such an adaptation for the Four Corners Library, thereby providing architectural contrast opposite the Four Corners Bank building on Main Street. Design work progressed with a series of working drawings for the display model of the library. The first drawing, depicting the Main Street facade and side elevation of the frame building, requires certain adjustments in the window and trim arrangement. These adjustments are indicated in this view by the red arrows. The next drawing, depicting a plan of the library grounds, incorporated a two-stage accessibility ramp serving the front porch, replacing the single ramp depicted in the first drawing. The final drawing, again depicting the Main Street facade and side elevation, contained the corrected window arrangements and the redesigned two-stage ramp. Here we see the first steps in the construction of the library. The sturdy internal framework is being cemented and clamped from pieces of 3/8" basswood. Next, the Main Street facade is cut from artist matting board, and the rough openings for the windows and entrance are cut out. Finally, simulated wood siding, foundation stone, and window and door glazing are added, and the facade, with various elements of trim applied, is cemented onto the framework. A porch and a cantilever porch roof were then added to the Main Street facade. The porch is reached from the Main Street sidewalk either by a flight of stairs or an accessibility ramp. The stairs and ramp are provided with safety railings. A sidewall is prefabricated using the same construction methods employed for the Main Street facade. An internal floor is cut from boxboard for insulation above the ground floor windows. A pair of interior partitions is then installed, dividing the ground floor into corridors and reading rooms. A row of parking meters is placed along the library's Main Street sidewalk. The prefabricated sidewall is cemented and clamped to the framework. The unused portion of the building site next to the new prefabricated wall is allocated to a children's playground. The playground is protected by a high chain-link fence constructed from window screen and adhesive paper. The playground is equipped with a pair of swings and a picnic table. Prefabrication continues with the back wall and the remaining side wall. The prefabricated walls are cemented and clamped onto the framework. Here we see the roof gables and sheathing being added to the framework. The sheathing is then covered with simulated sheet metal strips made from folded cardstock. Traditional brick chimneys are added, and a modern metal central heating chimney is installed upon a roof adapter. Finally, ground cover foliage is planted, protected from trampling by a low concrete block wall running along Main Street and Maple Street. For additional information about the Four Corners model, visit www.kaiserkill.com and click the link to Design Unit.